All right, welcome to this training where we're going to be talking about how to set up a specific automation, which is going to be the chat widget notification automation. So the reason why we're going to go ahead and set this one up is because when you get people who actually fill out or message you via your chat widget on your website, you're going to need to have a notification so that way you know that somebody's actually trying to reach you. Now, this is going to be one of the more easier ones to set up. And so we did say this in the previous training section where we're kind of walking you through the ones to get your feet wet, the ones that are easier in the beginning, so that way you can get a feel of how these automations are actually going to work. And so that's the reason why we're not going to give you an actual copy and paste template for this one, because we actually purposefully want you to go out there, because it's such a simple one, to actually go out there and create it. And then you can go ahead and get a feel of how all of these are created. And then once we get to more of the advanced ones later on that are specific, right? The ones that have like 10, 15, 20 different steps on there, those are going to be the ones that we go ahead and give you copy and paste for. Okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into creating your chat widget notification step by step. Of course, we are going to be inside of your business platform client kit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go over to automation over on the left side. And then once we go over to automation, we are going to go ahead and be on the workflow tab here. And you probably aren't going to have all of these workflows on here. This is just kind of a test account, so that's why we have a whole bunch on here. But what you're going to do is you are going to go ahead and go over to create a workflow. Okay, so on the top right. And then once you click on create a workflow, we're going to go ahead and start from scratch here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and click on continue for starting from scratch. And then the very first thing that we usually like to go ahead and do once you go ahead and jump into this is we are going to go ahead and actually rename this specific workflow to be right up here. And we're going to go ahead and click on the name, and we're going to go ahead and type this as chat widget notification automation. Okay, so we don't have to type in the word automation because obviously all of these workflows are automations, but that's going to be the first thing that we do directly there. And then from there, what we're going to go ahead and do is, and I'm going to say notifications. I'm going to go ahead and make a nice S there. Okay, then right here, we're going to go ahead and click on trigger. Okay, so trigger is going to be the first thing that we do. Now, if you remember from the training, we said that the trigger is the thing that, what is the if statement? What is the thing that has the condition that has to be started in order for this entire workflow to actually begin, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to do customer. And this is going to be customer replied. Okay, so this is going to be customer replied. And customer replied, we're going to add a filter right here. And then the filter that we're going to add is that the actual channel is going to be, so add a filter, the reply channel right over here. So you see reply channel, boom. And whoop, what did it do over there? Oopsie daisy. So let me, probably because I'm zoomed in because I'm recording here, didn't register that. So right here, we're going to go over to reply channel. And then the reply channel, we're going to go ahead and make that a chat widget. Okay, so it's going to be customer replied, reply channel, chat widget. So that way we know when somebody actually replies on the chat widget. We're then going to go ahead and click on save. Okay. And then from there, what we're going to now do is say, okay, when the customer replies, what do we want it to do? We're going to go ahead and add an action. And this action that we're going to go ahead and add is going to be a notification. So it's going to be send an internal notification. Okay. Click on that right there. And then the type of notification we're going to go ahead and select. This is going to actually be a normal notification. Now, here's the cool thing about this, right? So this is where we are getting your feet wet so you can start to understand how these work, is you could decide, you know what? I want to receive to yourself an email notification. I want to receive to myself an SMS notification. In this case, we are going to go ahead and set this up as an internal notification. So let me go ahead and show you what that would look like. So I'm going to duplicate this tab that we have here, and then I'm just going to go back over to the main screen for Client Kit right over here. And you'll see that these notifications up here, this is what we're talking about when we talk about internal notifications, right? So it's the notifications that are inside of your app. And then these are also going to be the notifications that happen on your actual mobile app as well, right? So the Client Kit mobile app that you download, that's also going to be here as well for you on your phone, okay? So this is what we mean when we say internal notification. So for right now, that's the one that we're going to go ahead and set up, okay? So this is going to be an internal notification. And then what we're going to do is at the title of this, we're going to go ahead and put the title of this as website chat notification. And then what we have is inside of the actual guide, we actually have here a message that you can actually copy, okay? So, and the reason why we have this message that you can copy is because it does have some custom values in there. And if you remember, we talked about custom values in the past. Custom values are basically, hey, how do you actually go ahead and auto-populate information for that specific individual from here? So it's like, okay, contact name has reached out using website chat, phone, email, and then here is their message. Now, once you have that all nice and spaced in there, of course, if you want to add more custom values and you want to customize it, of course, completely up to you. Of course, right now, I'm pretty sure you understand you don't want to be be a remote control student who wants to be spoon-fed, right? Yes, we're giving you this, but if you come up with any innovative, creative ideas that you want to test with, you want to kind of, say you want to change it around, feel free to do so, right? This is not like you have to set this up in this exact way. We're just showing you, hey, this is one way that you could actually go ahead and set this up. And we've talked about this many times before that, hey, everything that we're even teaching you, we just learned either by doing ourselves or we just learned from other community members who did an amazing job of innovating on themselves, right? And so that's the reason why we're showing you this specific way, but go ahead and change it up if you want to, okay? Now, redirect page. So the redirect page on here, this is just going to be contact. So this means that once you actually click on the notification, what do you want it to happen, right? So when you click on the notification here and you click on this, where do you want it to actually take you? It's going to be contact. And then it's going to go to user type. The user type is just going to be yourself. And let me see if I can go ahead and there we go. So you might have to scroll down a little bit. And so to user type, you're going to go ahead and put all users, or you can put to particular users. It's up to you. So this is going to be, who do you want the notification to go to? Do you want it to go to all the users meaning all the people in your team if you have more than one person on the actual account? Or do you want it to go to a particular user or to go to the user that is assigned to the contact? So again, this might be something that you change as you go ahead and get more and more of a bigger team. Or if it's just yourself, you can go ahead and have just all users if you want to have a particular user, and then you could select yourself from the drop down if your name is John Doe or just whatever your name is, just select yourself from there, right? From there, we can go ahead and click on save action. And you'll see that now what we've done is we've gone ahead and created a very, very simple automation. Now, we're not done yet. What we got to do is a couple different things. We got to go over and save, most importantly, very important. Make sure you save regularly and consistently. We're then going to go over to settings, and we do want to go ahead and allow re-entry. So that means that the same contact, every single time they reach out via the website chat, they can get re-enrolled into this automation. That's going to be very important there. We're going to go ahead and save there once again. And then we are going to actually go ahead and publish this one and save once again there as well, okay? And so that way, what we can do now is that we're going to have, whenever a customer replies via the website chat, okay, we're going to go ahead and have an internal notification that gets sent to us with this title and this message. Awesome. And then we also have the settings that is also going to allow for re-entry for that contact. And then we just go ahead and make sure we save, and we have gone ahead and published that as well. Awesome. So cool. We've gone ahead and set this up now. So what we are now going to go ahead and do, and this is very important, every single time you do this, you do want to make sure that you go ahead and test this workflow, okay? So what we're going to go ahead and do right now is we're going to go ahead and test this workflow. So I'm going to just go ahead and into the workflow over here. So chat widget notifications real quick. So a couple of things that we can do in order to test this workflow, right? So first thing we could do is I could click on test workflow. Now, sometimes test workflow works for certain workflows. Sometimes you actually have to go in and do the actual trigger, right? So customer replied. I don't know if it's going to fire this way, but let's go ahead and test this out. So let's go ahead and put this for Elon, and let's run this test. And if I go over to enrollment history, it'll show me that current action, no action. Let me go over execution log. It'll tell me added to workflow, internal notification, removed from workflow. Okay. Then, oh, look, it did work. Look at that. That's awesome. Okay. So what I did was I just flipped over to a new tab that I had open here, right? And then I went ahead and did notifications. And then you'll see right over here, it does go ahead and send me, hey, website chat notification. Elon Musk has reached out using website chat. This is his phone number, and then here is their message. Look at that. That is awesome. Okay, so it did in fact work for this workflow by using the test workflow button here. But what we're going to do is one more thing that we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and go into our website, right? So I want to do like a real test, not just a test that works from there. So I'm going to go and do a real test. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and preview link, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and actually open this up in an incognito window. So what I did was just FYI, I did that really quickly there. I previewed the link, I copied the URL there, and then I went ahead and did new incognito window. I'm going to go ahead and paste the website right over here, okay? And then once this actually loads, I'm going to go ahead and go into our own website chat. So you're going to do this on your own website. This is very important. Make sure you're pausing and you're following along because you want to make sure that you're doing this with us, okay? Now, right over here, what we're going to go ahead and do is this is going to be Justin Timberlake, okay? Justin Timberlake's phone number happens to be, if you guys didn't know, he does not have a Canadian number. Let me actually just zoom out here real quick. I just gave him a Canadian number. 1 second. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and, because ClientKit is smart, it actually looks at the area code, and then if the area code is in Canada, it'll change the country code. So that's not what we want. Now, he is not Taylor Swift, so let me go ahead and X this out, and then we're going to go Justin Timtim at gmail.com. Hi, how are you? Reach out to me, okay? That's going to be the message, and we're going to go ahead and send message. Okay, so it's going to send message. There we go. It does that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to see notifications. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen, we now have right over here website chat notifications. So it says Justin Timberlake has reached out. That's his phone number, that's his email address, as well as that is the message. Now what we do is if we click on that actual notification, it should take us over to Justin Timberlake's profile page. Oh, look at that, his contact page right here. And it did, and there's Justin Timberlake's message. And if you remember from contact management, it should go ahead and add Justin Timberlake into our contact management system as well. And just like that, you'll see that Justin is in fact inside of our contact management system, and then that message does in fact show up right over here under conversations, Justin Timberlake, and then it says, hey, great, right? Reach out to me, right? And so that is the message, that is the notification, that is the automation that we've gone ahead and set up. So again, what's next after this? We're not done yet. We have a couple others that we want to go ahead and walk you through so that we can get your feet wet and get really into the habit and really into the skill of building these automations. So again, please do not be one of those failure uniform students who does not actually pause the training and go out and take action. This is what you need to do. You need to go out and take action, because unless you do the repetition, this knowledge literally means nothing. You need to go out and do the repetition so that way you can actually unlock the skill and build this out with us, because I promise you, the more you do it, the more repetitions you do with it, it's going to go ahead and solidify inside of your mind. So having said that, we're not done yet. In the next training section, we are going to go ahead and walk you through a couple other notification automations that we are going to recommend that you do go ahead and get set up. But ladies and gentlemen, for right now, this has been the chat widget notification. You're doing great. Keep up the hard work. Keep up the work. I promise you, as long as you stay focused on your goals, the finish line is not as far as it seems. This is all going to add up. It's going to compound. It's all going to build into who you are becoming throughout this entire process. Ladies and gentlemen, we will catch you on the next training section.